Dear students in grade 12, good afternoon. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. This is Umayma Sharba, Senior Supervisor in the Ministry of Education. Welcome today for our seminar in which we are going to talk about Unit 5. Before start talking about this unit, let's welcome my guests and colleagues who are going to participate in this session. Ms. Samar Asrawi, an English teacher from Damascus Countryside Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Samar.
Good afternoon.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Hanan Kantagji, an English teacher from Hama Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Hanan.
Good afternoon, thank you.
You are welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for joining,
Thank you
dear.
very much.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, so, well, dear, you know that here in the Unit 5, we talk about many skills, and all of these skills are integrated. We have the listening, the speaking, reading, writing. We have many other skills, which are the vocabularies, the pronunciation, the everyday. So let's start doing this and look at the content of Unit 5. Well, dear, before we start, if you have any questions, please call. Not only about this unit, but also about all the units in your book, IMAR. Well, let's start. Well, you know, dear, that for listening, you are going to listen for gist and general understanding. Speaking, discussing opinions. Reading about civil rights. Writing an article about rights and duties. Grammar, we will talk about relative clauses. Pronunciation, about voiced and voiceless consonants. Vocabulary, law, idioms. Everyday English, complaints, and apology. So this is the content of this unit. So dear, before specifying this and giving you the information needed, let's watch this video first. Follow us, watch with us, listen, please, and focus. Yes, we are going to listen now to this video.
We are all humans, regardless our religion, race, color, or political views. We all have duties to do and rights to get. Whenever you get your rights, you will have to do your duties. The right to live in peace, the right to education, the right to vote, and many more. Welcome to the civil rights.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. So welcome to civil rights. Dear, civil rights are the title of the lesson. What do you mean by rights? Are there types of rights? Well, would you please, dear colleagues, let's clarify for our students. Let's discuss the matter here. Let's focus on this idea. What do you mean by the word right before talking about the types of rights? Would you please, Ms. Samar?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, dear students, and here we are going to talk about rights in general. First of all, it's adherence to duty to lawful authority. In brief, it's what's allowed to do or to get.
Yes, now you are talking about the right. Would you please repeat?
Yes, the right is adherence to duty to lawful authority.
Yes.
In other words, it's what is allowed.
Well, in other words, what's allowed.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Most
yes.
welcome.
Yes, Ms. Hanan?
Okay, we have two kinds of rights.
Good.
We have human and civil rights. So let's compare or contrast between them.
Well, sorry, Ms. Hanan,
Yeah.
before talking and to comparing about
Yes,
these two
please.
rights, would you please clarify for our students the difference between human, we say human right. What do we mean by human rights? Because they say human rights, civil rights. So, well, what do you mean by the word human? Then, what do you mean by the word civil, right?
Yes, human rights, they are acquired, of course, by nature. When they are born, they are they have the rights. This
Yes.
is what we call human rights.
Would you please, when we say human rights and which are acquired
Some
by
examples
nature
you
or
mean?
God, yes, please,
Okay.
give me examples.
Some examples, for example, they have the right to live. They have the right to be free.
Right.
They have the right to have a happy life. So
Yes.
these are examples of human rights.
Thank you very much. They have the right to live, to be
Yes.
happy, to live their life, which is acquired from nature. This is
Yeah.
from God.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much. What about the other?
Civil rights,
The civil rights.
they are obtained by being a member of a certain political life. For example, civil rights must be given and guaranteed by the power of the state. They should be controlled by the government, of course.
Of course.
So these are civil rights.
It means that a person is protected by the government
Yes.
upon these rights, because
Yes,
the
sure.
civil rights protect individuals.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So you say that when we compare between them, the human rights, yes, please, Ms. Samar.
Yes, we can add here that the difference between human rights and civil rights is the following. Human rights aren't depend on laws or governments or customs or culture. No, they are human by nature.
Thank you very much.
Most
They are
welcome.
rights acquired by nature.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, while talking about the civil rights, what do they include? What do the civil rights include? Yes, please.
Yes, what they include are the following.
Yes. We
have the
talked about
rights.
the civil rights, right? So they include many types.
Yes,
Let's
sure.
talk about them. Yes, please.
The right to vote.
The right to vote.
Yes, to give your voice in an election.
Very nice.
The right to fair trial.
Of course, the right to a fair trial, of course, to have a fair trial in the court.
Right.
The right to government services, to use public services or anything related to the government freely. The right to public education. They have to go to school, they have to get education. The government is responsible for this, of course.
Thank
Free
you very
education,
much.
yes.
So when speaking about the rights which include the right to vote, well, the right to vote in an election, so every person has a right to vote, has a right for a fair trial. It's guaranteed by the government itself. Well, the right to use government services, the right to public education. Public education, every person, every individual in a community or society has a right for education and to use public facilities. Well, these are civil rights. They include the following, which I said. Well, we said that they guarantee. What do they guarantee, the civil rights?
Yeah, sure. They guarantee equal social opportunities and equal protection under the law.
Very nice. So,
Regardless, yeah, there's a point, regardless of race or religion.
it's very clear.
Yes,
So,
that's very clear. No matter your color, your religion, your nationality, your no matter.
no matter,
Okay.
your rights are guaranteed by the government, regardless of religion, race, the color, anything.
Yeah, sure.
So they are guaranteed. Thank you very much.
We are all human.
We are. So what do they protect individuals from? So they guarantee something and they protect the individual from something.
Yes, they protect individuals from violation. Violation to break the law. They don't have to break the law, of course. Discrimination also. This means they should be treated well, the same,
Equally, yes.
equally, fairly. And they protect from repression, to use force, for example, against them. So
Very nice.
these individuals are protected by law, by civil rights.
By civil rights, so they are protected. So you mentioned many vocabs. Many vocabs, they seem to be new for our students.
Yes.
So let's clarify them and give our students definition for each vocab. For each word mentioned, for each word, we have a definition. Yes, would you please give us the definition for each word, Ms. Samar?
Yeah, sure. Match these words with their meanings or definitions. A, to give an assurance that something will be done right, which means guarantee.
Very nice. It means guarantee. So
Guarantee,
guarantee
yes.
means, as we said, to give,
give-
an assurance that something will be
Done right.
Right. Next, please.
A law or set of laws. This is legislation.
Very nice.
Yes.
So when we speak about legislation, we say a law or a set of laws. Thank you very much, Ms. Hanan. Next, please.
Okay, to say that something isn't true is closest in meaning to deny.
Very nice. To say that something isn't true.
Yes, isn't it
it's
true?
not true. So when we deny, we say that something is not true.
True.
Thank you very much. Next.
Most welcome.
A legal process to decide if somebody is guilty or not. This is, it happens in trial. So trial, of course, means if somebody is guilty or innocent.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, next, please.
Yes, an action that breaks a law, an agreement, or a principle. So here we mean violation.
Very nice. Violation, which is repeated many times, it means
Yeah,
an
sure.
action. It's an action that breaks a law. It's an agreement, or when it breaks a law or agreement or a principle.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you very much. Next.
A formal choice you take in election. This is vote. Vote so to decide, to choose the one you like, prefer in elections.
Thank you. And formally.
Yeah, of course.
So
formal.
you
Yeah,
know,
sure.
you know, dear students, you know the difference between the formal and the informal.
Informal.
So this is a formal choice you take in an election. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Rules which limit what people can do. It's restraint.
Restraints are
Yes.
rules. Excellent. Thank you. Well, restraints are rules which limit what people can do. Thank you. Next.
The practice of treating someone less fairly than others. This is discrimination.
Very nice. Discrimination, as Ms. Hanan said, is the practice of treating someone less fairly than
Yes.
others.
Good.
Thank
Not
you very
equally.
much.
Not equally, yes, sure.
Yes.
Using force to control a group of people and restrict their freedom, which means repression.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So repression, as we mentioned, it's using force to control a group of people. Using force to control a group of people and restrict their freedom. This is repression. Okay?
Yes,
Well,
sure.
thank you very much. We clarified these points. Well, dear, we have some words, we have some phrases to be completed in order to strengthen the point, because, you know, in this lesson we have many vocabs and we have many exercises that should be done. We are helping our students to do them and give them the right answers. Okay? So let's choose the most appropriate completion, A, B, or C. So we have here some sentences with choices. Let's choose the correct answer in order to complete the sentence meaningfully.
Sure. Number one, human rights are guaranteed to each individual in society. A, after death, definitely not. During lifetime, yeah, because we said that they are guaranteed or acquired whenever you are alive. And C, after the age of 18, sure not. So the answer is D, during lifetime.
During lifetime, thank you very much. So human rights are guaranteed to each individual in society during lifetime, which is the correct answer. Thank you very much. Next.
Most welcome, yes.
Okay. In comparison with civil rights, human rights also, we have three choices, are given to individuals by the government. We talked about when they are by the government, they are civil.
Sure.
Are acquired by nature. Yes, maybe, not maybe, surely, but let's continue. Are freedoms made by the individual themselves. The correct answer should be B, are acquired by nature, because when they are born, they have human rights.
Thank you very much. As you said, Ms. Hanan, thank you. In comparison with civil rights, human rights are acquired by nature.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, please.
Yes, the right to use public facilities is an example of a human right, natural right, or civil right. You know, we have mentioned before that human right and natural right, they are the same. So here the answer is civil right.
Thank you very much. As we mentioned before, that civil rights, they are the right to use public facilities, which are examples of the civil right. Thank you. Next, please.
It is to prevent people from participating in political life. Is it urgent, legal, or illegal? The correct answer, of course, it is illegal to prevent, to stop people from using or participating in political life.
Excellent.
Illegal.
Thank you. So it's illegal to prevent people from participating in political life.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, legislations are formed by the government too, that people enjoy their civil rights. Assure, ignore, protect. No, it's definitely A, assure.
That's right. So legislations are formed Why are they formed?
In other meaning, yes,
They
we
are
say
formed by the
guarantee,
government
sure.
to assure the people enjoy their civil rights. Very nice. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, for your mentioning this. Now, you know that we have some words we need to find opposites. In the books themselves,
sure.
we have some words. We need to find the opposite of these words from the text. The students should read the text carefully, not only find the meaning of certain words, certain vocabs, but only the opposite of certain words. So let's first read. Let's find the words in the text which have the opposite meaning of the following words. First, read these words, the following words, then find the opposite from the text itself. Yes, please?
Dead. The opposite of dead surely is to be alive.
Yes,
Good.
right?
Yes. Artificial. The opposite of artificial is natural.
Nice. So we said dead, the opposite is alive.
Yes.
Artificial, the opposite of the word artificial is natural.
Natural.
Thank you.
Yes.
Unjust. The opposite surely is to be just.
Yes, and yes, to be just or
Or
fair.
fair,
Yes.
Right,
fair.
to be just or fair. So
Yes.
unjust, from the book, fair is
Good.
if the student is now opening his book and following us,
Yeah, we
he
use
will
it with
find
the
the
fair
word
trial.
fair.
Fair.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Now, the opposite of allowed is prevented.
Very nice. The opposite of allowed is prevented in the book. Yes, please.
Admitted, here it means the opposite, it is denied. It should
Yes,
be denied.
admitted. The opposite
Denied.
of this word admitted is denied in the books. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, a negative. The opposite of negative is positive.
Very
Yes.
nice. The opposite of negative. Now let's check our answers. We said we have these words: dead, artificial, unjust, loud,
Allowed,
admitted,
yes,
and
yes,
negative.
negative.
Now let's find out the answers. Yes, the antonyms now. We find alive,
Good.
natural, fair, prevented, denied, and
positive.
positive. Thank you very much, dear. Well, have another exercise. We have few words. Let's fill in the gaps with the words from the box to complete the following paragraph. Now we have a paragraph. And we have this word: completed, obligation, addition, standards, and responsibility. These words should be put in the paragraph meaningfully in order to have a meaningful paragraph. Yes, please?
Yes. Fill in the gaps with words from the box to complete the following paragraph. Completed, obligations, addition, standards, responsibility.
Thank you.
The right to education includes A. To provide basic education for individuals. So here we have responsibility. As you know that we have to employ our vocab into another content. Dear students, they have to know how to use this word in other content.
Right.
Like that, responsibility. Okay, now
Very nice.
Who have not primary education from the school and college levels. So who have not completed.
Yes, of course, who have not completed primary education
Yeah.
from the school and college levels. Yes, please.
yes, in addition to this access to education necessities.
The right to education includes it should be obligations of the students to avoid discrimination at all levels of the educational system.
Very nice.
Now to set minimum standards of education and to improve its equality.
Very nice. Thank you very much. You have given. Now let's check the answers.
Yes.
Let's check the answers.
Okay.
The right to education includes a responsibility to provide basic education for individuals who have not completed primary education for the school and college levels. In addition to this access to education necessities, the right to education includes the obligation of the student to avoid discrimination at all levels of educational system, to set minimum standards of education and to improve its quality. Well, thank you very much, dear colleagues, for your
For nothing.
great work. Well, dear, we said that we need to speak about a grammar, okay? Now, in grammar in Unit 5, it focused on the relative clauses. Before talking about the relative clauses, let's clarify and explain to our students what's a clause. What do you mean by the word clause? And what's the difference between a clause and a sentence.
Okay.
Yes, please, Ms. Hanan.
Now, first we have here relative clauses. Before we start with these, I want to clarify that a clause, first a sentence is, it has the main units, subject, verb, and it has a full meaning.
Very nice. You mean the sentence had these three parts, which
Yes.
is meaningful by itself, with these three parts, the subject, the verb, and the complement.
The complement. Some verbs do not need complement, of course.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Now, what is a clause? A clause have the same elements, subject, verb, but at the beginning they have connectors. When the connectors enter the sentence, it becomes a clause.
Yes.
And the clause can't be alone. It can't depend. It depends on the main clause.
Yes.
So it is not meaningful.
It's not mean. It
Yeah.
doesn't have the full meaning. It
Yeah.
means the clause can't stand alone.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand alone. It doesn't give the full meaning by itself.
Yes.
So the sentence is a full meaning. The sentence itself has a full meaning, but the clause is something else. It needs a
Yes.
connector which connects it with another clause or something in order to give the meaning. So when we speak about the relative clause, what do we mean by it?
Relative clauses, they are, of course, clauses beginning with relative pronouns.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay. Now, relative clauses also can be called adjectival clauses.
What do you
Becau-
mean by this,
Yes.
adjectival clauses?
Because they are used to add extra information about the noun they modify. Usually, relative clauses come after the noun they modify. But also here we have to distinguish that we have two types of relative clauses. We have defining and non-defining clauses.
What's the difference between defining and non-defining relative clauses, Ms. Samar?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Hanan.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Defining clauses, which is mean that we have essential information. What do we mean by essential information? That this information with the main clause will fail to convey the full meaning without it.
Very nice.
We can omit this information. It's essential. But non-defining clauses, we have additional information. So if we take it away, it doesn't affect the main clause.
Very nice. So when we speak about the differences between the defining clauses and the non-defining clauses, the defining, we say that this clause in the defining is essential. It's very necessary. We need it to complete the meaning of the sentence. While in the non-defining clause, this clause is not necessary. We can omit it. We can take it away of the sentence without affecting the meaning of it.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Yes.
The non-defining clauses also is distinguished by separating it by commas.
By commas, of
Yes.
course. Very nice. Yes, we have to talk about it because,
Yes.
you know, punctuation marks are very important. We know, we should know. Students should know where to use them correctly. So when we have non-defining clause, these commas,
Yeah, we have to
non-defining,
separate. Yeah, we have to separate
are
the
put
relative clause with two commas.
at the beginning of the clause and the
And
end
the
of
end.
it.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And we have examples here. Would you please read them?
Yes, my brother who lives in Canada is a doctor. Here
Yes.
we have defining clause, which means if we omit who lives in Canada, it will
Yes.
not convey the meaning, the full meaning.
Or it will make it ambiguous. Maybe I have more than one brother.
Yeah, sure.
So to distinguish which brother, we can say who lives in Canada. Here we define
Yes.
Yes, very nice. Yes.
Yes.
The other?
non-defining.
Yes.
Yes, please.
My brother who lives in Canada is a doctor. This means I have one brother who's a doctor, but as additional information, I say who lives in Canada.
Yes.
Yes, very nice. Thank you very much. Well, very nice explanation. Now, here we have another thing relating to defining and then defining relative clauses. Would you please, Ms. Summer?
Yes, sure. Here is the website which my sister created, and here we have relative clause. But now, is it essential or additional? What do you think?
What do you think? Is it essential or additional?
Yeah, it's definitely essential.
Why?
Firstly, we don't have comma.
Yes.
So here, and it's clarified.
Sorry, Ms. Summer, but
Yes.
can we say, here is the website and just stop?
No, we
Can
can't.
we say?
No,
we can't.
no.
Yes, dear students, we can say it's not a completed sentence. It doesn't have a full meaning. Can we say, here is the website? No, we should complete it using the relative clause when we say,
To
here is the
convey the full
website which
meaning.
my sister,
Sure.
yes, created. Thank you. Yes, next, please.
My cousin, or let's continue with defining.
Yes, let's continue with defining,
No.
please. Then we move to the
Okay, will
non-defining.
you be presenting the slides which or that you took in Canada last summer? I'm talking about slides, but which slides? I'm defining the slides, talking about definite slides, which or that you took in Canada last summer.
Very nice.
A note here, we can use which or that. That here, why? Because this kind of a clause is defining.
Sure.
We use that in defining clauses instead of which or who, if it is also acceptable.
Yes, very nice.
Or
Thank you
used.
very much. Well, now talking about, when we talk about non-defining, yes, please, Ms. Samar.
Yes, non-defining. My cousin, who volunteers at a local homeless shelter, won the lottery. Here we have, what if we say, my cousin won the lottery? Is there any difference between the two sentences?
Is it a completed meaning?
Yeah,
Does it
my
have the
cousin
complete
won the
meaning?
lottery.
Of course.
So we have here additional information, who volunteers at a local homeless shelter. And we have also two commas here to separate the clause or the relative clause from the main clause.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Next, we have.
Okay. The income tax which he paid last year is accurate. So the income tax is accurate. This is a complete sentence. But to add more information, I say which he paid last year. So this is additional. It is non-defining. It is separated by commas.
Very nice. Thank you very much, dear. You have clarified the point really well. Why? Let's do some exercise.
Yes.
According to relative clause, let's focus on it to strengthen the point and do this exercise. We have in the book, read and underline the relative pronoun. The relative pronoun. When we do it, we are going to talk about them briefly, okay?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Now, we have certain sentences. Let's read, then we underline the relative pronoun, please.
Good. A drill is a tool. A drill is a tool.
Yes.
And what else?
What
So we
else?
have to continue here. A drill is a tool which is used to make a hole in something. Here we have a definition for the drill, which is a tool. And we use the relative pronoun which to refer to the tool.
Very nice, thank you. So, you mean that which, you underline this
Which.
pronoun,
Yeah,
which. Thank you very much.
Mobile phones are phones. Which phones? That you can carry around in your pocket. So we use here the relative clause that you can carry around your pocket. To define phones, we use the relative pronoun that
Very
because
nice.
this clause is defining.
Very nice.
We can use also here instead which.
Yeah, sure.
Of course,
Okay. Yes.
instead of which.
So
Thank-
the relative pronoun is that.
that.
Yes.
Nice. Next, please.
Yes, the man who worked in printing company visited me last night. Okay, the man. The man who worked. So here we have who. It refers to the man.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. Thank you. Next.
The woman whose car was stolen called the police. We are here the relative pronoun is whose. Whose here is used, by the way, for position, and it should be followed by a noun. Whose car. Whose here refers to the owner, to the woman.
Very nice to
Yes.
refer to this point,
Yes.
that the word whose refers to position
Yes,
and should
sure.
be followed by a noun.
Yes.
Very nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So the relative pronoun here is whose.
Is whose.
Good.
Thank you.
Here we are. Latakia is a wonderful city. Yeah, that's nice.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a full meaning sentence, sure.
All Syrian cities
but
are
here
wonderful.
I have to tell you something where I spent my last holiday. So here we have non-defining relative clause, where I spent my last holiday. It's an additional information. And the relative clause or the relative pronoun here is where.
Thank you very much. Now
Most
let's
welcome.
check our answers.
Yes.
And we said that a drill is a tool which is used to make a hole in something. Mobile phones are phones that you can carry around in your pocket. The man who worked in a printing company visited me last night. I focused on who. Number 4, the woman whose car was stolen. Whose car? We notice The word car, this noun is after the pronoun whose, was stolen, called the police. Latakia, where I spent my last holiday, is a wonderful city. Well, thank you very much. Well, now, as we said that the relative pronouns, dear, each pronoun has its usage. Well, who refers to people when speaking about the subject of the sentence. We know the sentence has a subject and the object. When we talk, we use who as a pronoun to refer to the subject, while we use whom as a pronoun to refer to the object of the sentence, okay? Now, whom, I said who for the subject, whom for the object. Whose refers to possession. And we said that it should be followed by a noun. Which refers to things. It refers to things. Where refers to places. When we talked about Latakia in the previous sentences, we say where. When refers to time. Well, I hope that the relative pronouns are clear. Would you like to add something? Nothing?
Yes, I can add here that we said that.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is used in defining relative clauses instead of which, instead of who.
Good.
Yes.
Example, let's see. The bill that or which you received last week needs to be paid tomorrow. So either that or which are acceptable, are okay. But we have here that plus which or preposition can be
No,
used
with
instead of
prepositions.
where.
Yes.
So either where, it's okay, or that which plus preposition. Example, this is the house which or that I grew up in.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
So
for-
if we, just a minute, if we replaced which or that in, we can say where I grew up. If we. Yeah.
Yes. So we can say where I grew up.
Yes,
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. It's
Where.
very important note that we say that can be used instead of which and who. Our students should know this. But where in defining relative clauses. Okay? As you gave the example about the bill, that which with the preposition can be used instead of where.
Yes.
They can be used instead of where, as you gave in the example. Thank you very much. Well, now let's choose. Let's do an exercise about these pronouns, and we have choices. Let's choose the correct answer, choose the correct pronoun to be put in the sentence in order to give up the meaning of them. Yes, please, choose the correct pronoun. Yes, start please, Ms. Samar.
Yes, we have a package for the man. Stop by today. Who, which, when, whose. What do you think? Definitely we have who, because we are talking about the man.
Very nice. So we have a package for the man who's top. That's right.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, next please,
Yes,
Ms.
okay.
Hanan.
I met the author. Book is on the book or is on the bestseller list, let's say. Who, which, whom, whose. I'm talking here about position. So it should be whose. I met the man whose book.
Yes, that's
Good.
right. So
And
I
it is
met-
also followed by a noun, as we see, is on the bestseller list.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So
Okay.
I met the author whose book. As you said earlier, as you mentioned, that we use after whose, it refers to position, position,
Yes.
and we should use a noun after it.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
The income tax he paid last year is accurate. Here we have that, where, which, and who. We will use which. Can we use that here? Yes, what do you think?
Surely not.
Why?
Because this relative clause is non-defining.
Not defining.
Very
so,
nice.
Okay, we don't use that here.
Okay.
Very
Yes.
nice. So
Number
we
four.
use which.
Yeah. Will you be presenting the slides you took in Canada last summer? The choices are whose, when, which, whom. So it should be here, which.
Very
I'm
nice.
referring to slides.
That's right. Yes, please. Next.
Okay, this is the city N. This is the city N.
In.
Yes, Shakespeare was born. Here we have which, where, who, whose. Definitely we will use which, because we have a preposition here, and.
This is the city in which
Yes, in which Shakespeare
was born. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
The evening is a time. We can all relax. Where, when, who, and whom. Time here refers to, of course, it should be when.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
The time when. So I should
Because-
use when.
Thank you very much, because when refers to
time.
To time.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Well, let's check our answers.
Yes.
I will read
Yes.
them. We have a package for a man who stopped by today. I met the author whose book is on the bestseller list. The income tax which he paid last year is accurate. Will you be presenting the slides which you took in Canada last summer? This is the city in which Shakespeare was born. The evening is a time when we can all relax. Well, dear, we have clarified the point about the pronouns. Now let's use them in sentences as your books. You know that there is an exercise in your book. We have certain vocabs. We have to use the vocabs and the pronoun in order to fill in the sentences. Which word do the definition below describe? We have definitions and we have sentences which describe a word. Each sentence describes a word, and we should use next to it the relative pronoun, the appropriate relative pronoun. Okay? Now, which word do the definitions below describe? Complete them with the correct relative pronouns, and you notice, dear colleagues, that we have options. We depend on the choices, multiple choice,
Yeah,
and we
sure.
choose the correct answer. Yes, please start, Ms. Samar.
Yes, a is a machine that or which, and you know that we can use that or which here, makes copies of documents.
Yes.
Bodyguard, photocopier, plumber, vacuum cleaner, okay? And the answer is photocopier. A photocopier is a machine. Which machine?
Well, that's not very nice.
Yes.
So a photocopier, here we have different words. We have the bodyguard, the
Yes.
photocopier, the plumber, the vacuum cleaner. So what is the machine? It's the photocopier. That or which, okay?
Sure.
That or which makes copies
Copies.
of documents. Right, thank you. Next, yes, Miss Hanan?
A is a person that or who protects important people from being attacked. I'm talking about a person. The choices are A, bodyguard, photocopier, plumber, or a vacuum cleaner. So as you see here, we have two words referring to people,
Yes.
bodyguard or plumber. But surely I'm talking about bodyguard.
Yes, because we are talking about someone who protects
protects.
important
Yes.
people, or the bodyguard, the guard always protect people.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, please, next.
Yes, a place is a place with washing machines where you can wash your clothes.
Yes.
Again, is a place with washing machines where you can wash your clothes. Photocopier is a machine.
Yes,
Okay?
it's a machine.
Plumber refer to a person. Vacuum cleaner, or it's a machine, but laundry is a place. Laundry is a place with washing machines where you can wash your clothes.
Very nice, thank you. Yes, please. Ms. Hanan?
Yes, number 4. A
Yes, number 4.
or A is a person whose job is to mend central heating, taps, etc. I'm talking about a person, but whose job is to mend. So let's see the choices
Yes.
first. Photocopier, as she said, and as we know, photocopier is a machine. A plumber, surely yes, because a plumber is the one who mends
Yes,
central
of course.
heating. A vacuum cleaner, it's a machine. A laundrette, it's a place. So the correct choice is B.
Yes, of course, the plumber. Thank you. Yes, please, Ms.
Yes,
Samar?
finally, is a machine which you use to clean floors and carpets.
Yes.
So here we have photocopier, a plumber, vacuum cleaner, or laundrette. So
Very-
here we have the answer is vacuum cleaner.
Very nice. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Thank you very much. So, as you said, here we have that definitions. All these sentences define these words, and at the same time we use the pronouns. We notice the uses of the pronouns, the relative pronouns, the relative clauses, sorry, to make complete sentence,
Yeah,
meaningful
sure.
sentences. I repeat them quickly. So we say that a photocopier is a machine that or which makes copies of documents. We say who protects the bodyguard is a person that or who protects important people from being attacked. Where is the place? A laundrette is a place with washing machines where you can wash your clothes. And who a person job, plumber is a person whose job is to main central heating taps, etc. And we have this machine, the the vacuum cleaner is a machine which can use to clean floors and carpets.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. Now, we know that in Unit 5, as we talk about civil rights, we have the law idioms, okay?
Yes.
These idioms, you know that in each unit we have idioms related to the idea, the
unit,
top of
yes.
the unit. And because we are talking about law, we have law
Law
idioms.
idioms.
Now we have some sentences. We need to replace certain phrases, a phrase in each sentence with the correct idiom. So we have choices. We have different idioms. We have to choose one idiom and replace it with the meaning of a phrase in the sentence.
Yes.
Now, let's do this exercise. Replace the underlined phrases in these sentences with the correct form of one of the law idioms in this list. Yes, please start, Ms. Samar.
Yes, you should speak directly and ask for a raise. You should speak directly and ask for a raise. Don't hesitate in getting to the point. Here we have 4 idioms. Beat around or about the bush, an act of God, break the law, assemble the case.
Yes.
And the correct answer is beat around or about the bush.
Very
So
nice.
we can replace hesitate in getting to the point with beat around or about the bush.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So, the sentence, you should speak directly.
Yes.
You notice the word directly and ask for
Straightforward,
a raise.
yes.
Yes. Don't beat around the bush.
Good.
Okay?
Okay.
When we replace the phrase with the idiom which had the same meaning, the sentence, you should speak directly and ask for a raise. Don't beat around the bush.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, please,
Awesome.
Ms. Hanan.
The insurance company refused to pay the money because they said that the forest fire was the will of God. So the will of God, of course, it has a certain idiom.
Yes.
Is it round, to beat round or above the bush? Surely not, because we have already known. Is it an act of God? Surely yes. Is it broken the law? No, surely not. Assemble the case? No. The idiom should be replaced, or the underlined phrase should be replaced by an act of God. So the fire was an act of God.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So we said that the insurance company refused to pay the money because they said that the forest fire was
An act of
God. So we replace the idiom, the law idiom, an act of God, with its correspondence, with the meaning, with the phrase which refers to it, with the same, we replace it in the sentence and we use this idiom. Thank you very much. Yes, please, next.
Yes, the lawyers were unable to collect data against the man. The lawyers were unable to collect data against the man. We have to choose A, beat around or about the bush, an act of God, or break the law, or assemble the case, and definitely it will be assemble the case. So
That's
here we
right.
have the lawyers were unable to assemble the case against the man.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So you replaced this phrase, collect data, with the law idiom, assemble the case, and the sentence is, the lawyer were unable to assemble the case against the man. Thank you very much. Yes, Ms. Hanan?
Yes.
The man was forced to quit his job, to stop his job, after it was discovered that he had acted against the law. So acted against the law. Is it beat around or about the bush? Surely not. An act of God? Surely not. Broken the law? Surely yes. Or assembled the case? Surely not.
No.
Yes, that's right. Thank you
So
very
it
much.
should be he had broken the law.
That's right.
Yes.
Broken the law. Of course, thank you.
Yes.
So the man was forced to quit
Yes.
his job after it was discovered that he had broken the law.
Yes.
They should be punished.
Yes, of
Okay?
course.
Yeah,
so
sure.
so the word or the phrase acted against the law have the same meaning of this idiom, which is broke,
Broken,
sorry, the law.
yes.
Yes, please, Ms. Samar.
Our lawyer is very good. Wow. And he does everything exactly as the rules say.
Yes.
So, is it beat around or about the bush, or by the book, or break the law, or assemble the case? What do you think?
What do you
Definitely,
think?
surely by the book.
course.
Because, yes, because he's very good and does everything exactly as the rules say.
Thank you very much.
Most
Correct.
welcome.
So our lawyer is very good and he does everything by the book. Because this idiom had the same meaning of the phrase in the sentence. By the book means exactly as the rules say.
Yes.
That's right. Well, I hope that we clarified everything to our students, our dear students. Now, dear, we have covered the grammar. Now we move to pronunciation. And
Yes.
I would like to tell our dear students, pronunciation is very important. We all work on this. We have to listen all the time. We have to focus. Your book is rich in many things relate to pronunciation. Now in this unit, the focus is on the voiced and the voiceless consonants. The voiced and the voiceless consonant. Before you watch and listen, because I have a video to watch. Well, before we watch and listen, would you please, now we say consonants
Yes.
and sounds. What sounds? We have the consonants and the vowel. Let's say, I will tell our students about the consonants and the vowels. Yes, please,
Yes.
because some of them may forget about the vowels or things like this.
English letters are divided into two kinds, vowels and consonants. Vowels, they are distinguished because they vibrate the vocal cords.
Yes.
While when we pronounce, of course, consonants, we don't feel this vibration. So we can say with the vowels, it is tangible, it can be touched. With consonants, it is untangible, not
Yes.
very noticed.
Very nice.
Okay, yes.
Now, you know that we have, yes, please.
But also we can divide it, or we can divide our sounds into voiced and voiceless sound.
Yes, right.
Even they are consonant.
Yes, of course.
Even
So
they are
consonant
consonant.
letters also we have voiced and
And
voiceless
voiceless.
sounds.
Yes, but
Yes.
as Ms. Hanan said, all vowels are voiced. But
Yes,
talking
sure.
about the consonants, we have the voiced and voiceless.
Yes.
Now, let's watch, please. Let's watch and listen to the voiced and voiceless sounds. Yes, please.
We need to talk about what we call voiced and voiceless English sounds. This is most likely a new term for you, so let me explain what I mean. Go ahead and touch your throat like this and say these sounds. B, D, G. Do you feel the vibration in your throat? That vibration is caused by the vocal cords in your throat moving or vibrating, so you feel that vibration on your hand. These are called voiced sounds because your voice is on. So when you feel that vibration, it means it's a voiced sound. Now touch your throat again and say these sounds. P, T, K. Do you feel the vibration in your throat? No, it's not there, right? These are quiet sounds or voiceless sounds. These sounds don't vibrate your throat because your vocal cords are open and loose, so the air flows through your throat freely. These are called voiceless sounds because your voice is off. So when you don't feel the vibration, you are saying a voiceless sound. All English sounds are either voiced or voiceless sounds. Either your voice is on, or it's off. Now if you'd like to learn.
Well, as we watch and listen, let's talk about the voiced and voiceless sound. Yes, Ms. Samar?
Yes, voice sounds are those that make our vocal cords vibrate.
Yes.
Yes, and when they are produced. Here are the following sounds are usually voiced, such as
ng,
ng,
the, j, g, d, b,
Z,
r,
R,
v.
V. Yes,
And
so
all
they are,
vowels, by the way, are voiced. All
yes,
the
as you said before. What about the voiceless sounds, please?
yes, voiceless sounds are those that don't make our vocal cords vibrate. So no vibration in our vocal cords when they are produced. The following sounds are usually voiceless.
Okay.
Yes.
P, t, k, f, sh, ch,
S.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, dear. Well, let's choose the correct answer. We have this exercise about the pronunciation, okay? So let's do it. We speak about the voiced and the voiceless. Yes, please, Ms. Samar,
Yes.
start.
Now choose the correct answer. The final sound N is voiced.
Yes.
Pay attention, is voiced. So we have mistake, mistake, answer, answer, ash, ash, bath, bath. We are talking about the final voice or the final sound. So here we have answer, answer. Yes?
It's correct. Thank you very much. So the final sound in answer is voiced. So the correct
Sure.
answer is B, answer. Thank you. Yes, Ms.
Okay.
Hanan?
Number 2, the final sound in is voiceless. We are focusing on being voiceless. Let's see, laugh, sing, judge, answer. Now, when we focus on voiceless, surely we have to pay attention to the last letter in the word F, laugh, F.
Very nice. So the final sound in laugh.
Yes, laugh.
We
It is
focus on the
voiceless.
final sound. So is voiceless in this word. We
Yes.
choose this word, which is voiceless. Thank you very much. Yes, Ms. Samar?
Yes. Earth, the sound is either voiced or voiceless. Surely, voiceless sound.
Yes, that's right. Voiceless. Earth.
Yes, earth.
Earth. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Hanan?
The word realize. By the way, realize can be written S,
Or-
British or
yes.
Z.
Yes, right.
Sure.
The two are acceptable. So realize the Z sound is Z. Is here, is it voiced or voiceless? According to the list, of course, it is voiced.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. We have clarified this point very clearly. Now, we will talk about everyday English, which is very important in your book, as you know. So, everyday English, we have things to talk about, complaints and apology. Would you please, what do you mean by the word complaint?
Yes, the word complaint means to express
Yes.
unhappiness.
Unhappiness.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
apology, of
yes.
course, to express regret.
Thank you
Good.
very much. Now let's choose the correct answer, please. Yes, Ms. Samar. We have here sentences. Let's choose between A, B, C, D.
Yeah, sure. We have here a specific situation that you receive a bill higher than it should be and you complain. Yes, underline complain to the manager.
Yes.
I assure you it will not happen again. I assure you it won't happen again. B, I must apologize. Yes. And C, that's very strange. D, I'm afraid I have a complaint to make. I have, so here, concentrate. I have a complaint to make.
Thank you very
And
much.
the right answer is D.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Hanan.
Another situation. The bath in your hotel is full of spiders. You call the manager and the manager apologizes. What do you say when you apologize? I assure you it will not happen again, or it is very inconvenient, not suitable. I'm proud of you, surely not. That's very strange. the correct answer should be number A, because it expresses apology, of course.
Very nice, thank you very much. So you notice that when we have this situation, you receive a bill higher than it should be, you complain, and when you complain, you say, I'm afraid I have a complaint to make. An example. And another situation, the bath in your hotel is full of spider, so the manager came and he apologizes. So you say, I assure you it won't happen again. There are many phrases with explain, complaints, and apology. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Now we move to the last skill, which is writing.
Good.
And a student is supposed to write an article about a person's rights and duty. Yes, Ms. Samar?
Yes, we all know that a man is born with rights and duties. Sure, and every right has a corresponding duty.
Very
That's
nice.
Definitely. Yes, you have something to get and you have something to do. Yes,
Okay.
Ms. Hanan?
As a member in your community, what rights do you get? Surely you have human rights, but you have also civil rights. Civil rights, of course, to protect your society, to protect general, let's say, properties and everything like that. We have to explain something about this.
Very nice, thank you very much. Well, we always focus on the writing. We need our students to know how to write. Some students complain about because they are used to copy. They used to copy things, and I
memorize.
hope
Yes.
my dear colleagues, my dear teacher, teach them how to write. It's not difficult at all. When we train our students, have them practice, we start with simple sentences. Let's train them, let's have them write simple sentences. We give them the ideas and we help them to think about the idea themselves. If they have a topic, just think about things, the situation they face in life. What about problem solving? We have to train them to solve problems, right? When they are in a situation. So how can we help them to do this? When we train them to write, we shouldn't give them copies. They turn to be photocopier, right? Well, please, dear colleagues, please, dear students, try to learn to write. When you write a paragraph yourself, you will be happy, have this confidence. Start with simple sentences, then join these simple sentences together. Then try to use the linking word. Well, if you need to add anything, please, in order to help our students to write. We have here an article to write about a person's rights and the duty, and each student he know at least the least information, and his lesson gives him the information about the right, okay, and duty. So we have different situations with
Sure,
problem
we
solving,
have many
right?
situations.
That's it.
Something important about writing. Generally in the exam they are promised to be given hints, maybe because it is guided.
Yes.
So they are going to be given hints or questions. They will help them to write their article or their composition.
That's right. Thank you very much. Well, now we come to the end of the session. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, for your participation. You have clarified everything. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Dear, thank
It's
you.
our duty. Don't worry.
You are welcome. You are always welcome.
Yeah, thank you
well,
very much.
Dear student, thank you for watching and wish you good luck. Goodbye.